Welcome to SmartAscent, a series on investor success stories.
Hi everyone, this is Pankaj Singh from SmartWealth.ai. Today I have with me Nabyendu Mandal, one of the investors in SmartWealth.ai. Hi Nabi, welcome here.
Thank you. Hi Pankaj. Hi everyone. Thanks for having me here today.
Well, our pleasure. So Nabi, to get this conversation kicked off, tell us about yourself.
Sure. I'm an engineer turned MBA in my late 30s. Worked across various organizations in different capacities for about close to 15 years now. And I started my journey with a telecom company in India. Then in between I switched organizations, moved on to a larger organization, did sales over there for a bit. In between I also had my own startup which I ran for about close to 4 years. Currently I'm part of a corporate setup yet again back here.
That's very interesting. So engineer turned MBA, and then you've seen a mix of corporate world and your own entrepreneurial journey.
Right.
And how did your investing journey start?
Sure. So back in the day when I graduated out of engineering, obviously the pace were not as at par as what people draw today when they are graduating out of engineering colleges. But coming from a humble middle class background, I always had it in me that some portion of what I'm earning should obviously be put into a savings bucket.
Yeah.
That's where the rationale behind investing started, that if I'm saving something, I might as well invest it rather than just keep it in my savings account, which is barely meeting inflation.
Yeah.
So that's where the journey with investing, I would say, started. Initially, it involved a bit of reading on my own, reaching out to some mentors and seniors in my network to understand how they were investing with their money.
Yeah.
Started off by doing just fund investment, whatever mutual fund across 5, 7, 10 people, they were investing whatever commonalities I could find, whatever basic reading told me that these are the top mutual funds to look out for. A bit of debt, a bit of equity, all of that mixed together, slowly moving towards ETFs. Then started probably dirtying my hands with stocks. That's where the entry into the equity market started. In between, there was a boom in the real estate market as well, so a bit of investment there as well. So essentially trying to hedge my bets and also learning the process that what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, that is fantastic. So actually, starting with placing an emphasis on savings, then taking professional help in form of mutual fund, also seeking information and researching yourself to venture directly into the market as stocks, and diversifying it with real estate. That is actually pretty robust story you've got. So at what point did you start using SmartWealth.ai products?
Right. So I think my journey with SmartWealth started about 18 months back. And I remember the day where Pankaj, you and I had a chat around the kind of products portfolio that you were building, the different instruments that are there for investments, what are the different asset classes, and you went at length explaining how things work. I obviously started my journey with Sprint back in the day. Significant portion of my portfolio today is still with Sprint, but back in the day it was completely loaded with Sprint when I just started. Did it for about 3-4 months to understand that what are the risk reward policies that are there from the product. Then slowly I remember I gravitated towards putting some part of my savings into endurance. Endurance was the second part of the journey with SmartWealth. Having invested in endurance for about 3-4 months, from that point in time I figured out, okay, what are the difference between the product, the way in which it operates in endurance versus a sprint, what are the differences. And it's been about close to a year now that I have also invested into Triumph. And today I think across the spectrum, right from people who are using Sprint to a Triumph, I can understand that what are the different risk reward portfolios, the personas who should invest in what kind of a bucket. And the returns have been phenomenal, and I know that you and I have been having these conversations, but for everyone's knowledge, it's absolutely a great journey that I've had with SmartWealth, and today probably that's one of the reasons why I wanted to sit here and talk to more people and tell them the journey.
Well, thanks Nabi for being a supporter, and it's great to see you start with Sprint and sort of evolve to endurance and then evolve to Triumph. So actually it's very fulfilling to see that you've traveled that journey with us. and it's great to have you as a customer. So, what does what aspects of SmartWealth.ai stand out? Is there anything that stands out or you find unique when you compare to other ways of investments that you've followed?
A couple of things which are top of mind and which has greatly benefited me for sure. I remember whenever I used to reach out for any kind of help, any kind of information that I was seeking, you have been very transparent in sharing about the various products. I've always felt at ease investing into any of these products. It was never that things were pushed on to me that, hey, you know what, Nabi, this is where you should put it. If you advise for or against any of these things, it was well reasoned out, and it was also, you always left the call on me. It was never like, Nabi, you know what, I'm telling you this, you should do this. It was always like, these are the pros, these are the cons, this is the right time, this is not such a right time, but ultimately the call is yours. So that I think worked out great. And second thing is, you know what, today, every Thursday when I wake up, it's like muscle memory to me that I know rebalance update is going to come my way from SmartWealth. And many a time people like us who are probably caught up in their day-to-day jobs, we forget that we have parked our money somewhere, we have invested our money somewhere, and we also need to be equally invested in the growth of that money. This rebalance is a great reminder to us what is happening with our money. So I think that's very important as an investor, and that has worked out really well.
Well, it's fantastic that rebalances are useful and you sort of created a rhythm around it. That's fantastic. And actually, SmallCase does a terrific job of creating this workflow around rebalancing that is super helpful for investors. So now, having seen mutual funds, stocks, actively managed portfolios like SmartWealth, real estate, also your unique career journey as corporate personnel and an entrepreneur, what advice would you like to give to an investor who may be starting out or maybe in the early part of their career?
Sure. Although I'm not great at giving advices, but still I'll try my best to give you 3 things that all of us should remember. First and foremost, for people who are graduating out of colleges or are still in your colleges, if you have certain pocket money that you're saving, start investing early, because the power of compounding is really, really very powerful, and all of us realize it who have stayed investment and see the power of compounding. So first and foremost, start very early. Second would be that stay invested, which means that if you're investing your money in whichever instrument that is, be it SmartWealth, be it any other product, be it any other investment form that you do, please stay invested as an investor. Don't just park your money and forget your money with someone else, because at the end of the day, your money is your money. It's absolutely it needs a lot of love, care and affection from your side as well. And lastly, this is something that I've learned the hard way. We are generous. Like people like Pankaj exist because there is always this call for specialists in the ecosystem. There's not a great deal of specialists who are out there. If you in your lives come across one, please do make the maximum utilization out of these specialists. And I myself, I know that I am in the able hands over here, which is where my probably knowledge was limited. My amount of reading was limited. I was not able to dedicate a lot of my time otherwise. And hence I thought that it's always better if we have anything going on in our body, we always trust the doctor, we always trust the specialist. Similar with your investment, if you need some advice, please go to a specialist. Don't just follow what we see on social media, what we see on our limited knowledge in our networks. That would be the last piece of advice.
That's very sort of rich advice, and thanks for generous words. So first is to start early, make compounding work for you, then sort of stay invested in your journey, dedicate the time, research, and third, don't hesitate to take professional help, because investing may require professional help. So that is fantastic advice, very well put as well. So thanks Nabi for taking time to discuss and share your insights generously with us.
No, thanks everyone.
So that was Nabi, one of the investors. I hope you found this conversation useful. Do share your comments with us and watch out this space. Thank you for watching.